Fitzgerald.
And I'm Madeline.
And I accept that.
I was going to say my name and tell a fun little story about myself, but I think that's... No need.
And this is the Fiends Review. And in this episode of the Fiends, we're reviewing the... Well, actually thinking back, this is from this year, 2013, the film Mama, by director... Can you pronounce that? Yeah, neither could I. Andres Muschietti. Well, you know, this was produced by
Let's
Del
do this
Toro, right?
with a caption around this area.
This film was notable as it was produced by, oh God,
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro.
You don't have to say it like that.
Go. And following his tradition of putting children in horrible situations. So maybe that's why it's presented by him, why this story appealed to him so greatly. Because he has this tradition of putting children in horrible supernatural situations, such as The Devil's Backbone, Pan's Labyrinth.
I don't think that was a really horrible situation in Pan's Labyrinth. If you go into the theory that this was all psychology inside her head... Okay, we're not going to get into Pan's Labyrinth. I could talk about that for 3 days.
All right. And this film, Mama, was based on a short film that the director had also, by the same title, and was developed into a feature-length film.
And the shot from the short film, and I think it's the shot for shot. For some reason, I thought the short film was a lot darker lit, but it's still. I thought the short film was really nicely done, effective, creepy as hell. The Mama effect was good, and now knowing the backstory to Mama, I think it's even better how they associate Mama. And she kind of looks like she's floating in water.
Well,
and stuff.
I do want to get into the look of Mama, but before we do that, you having seen the short film, how do you think it translates into a feature? Do you think it translates well into a feature, or do you feel that was there more of the story that was told that seemed necessary to tell, or does it just seem like they padded a short film to make it into a feature?
Well, quite literally the short is that scene, and you don't know what's going on.
Which scene?
Was the scene where the youngest...
Lily.
It's Lily and Victoria. Beautifully feminine names. The youngest is downstairs just standing there. They're very feminine names, and I like those names. They're nice. I don't see many Victorias these days. Is standing down there, and Lily and Victoria comes to meet her, and Lily's all like, "Yay, Mama's here!" And you see Mama, and you think, oh, wait, no, it's, oh shit, Mama's here. And then Mama chases them up the stairs because Mama's pissed off. Victoria says Mama's pissed off. Or Mama's angry, and all you see is kind of Lily runs into the bedroom, closes the door, and leaves her sister outside to suffer whatever fate you didn't know. In the short, it was just, it kind of ended there.
Oh, so that was the whole short?
That was the entire short.
Oh, okay. So we actually...
That I saw.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if somehow I saw a clip from this, but I'm pretty sure that was the short. Because it was on, I want to say, Dread Central or BloodyDisgusting.com.
Okay. All right. So there.
Yeah.
The short didn't have a story per se.
Not really.
No, it was just
it was
more of just a scene. Okay.
And I think it was all done in one shot too. I think that was a big thing about it. The whole thing was done in one shot.
Were you particularly impressed by the short?
Yes.
Were you not surprised? When you heard that there was going to be a feature? Did you think, I would like to see more of this story? That more of a story could come out of this.
To be totally honest with you, I didn't realize that this feature had anything to do with the short till today.
Oh, okay.
I saw, of course, the trailer for Mama. I didn't make the connection. I did even think, like, hey, that kind of reminds me of that short. I hope they're not ripping it off. Stupid Hollywood ripping off shorts. But it kind of was left it there. I didn't really dive into Mama. I didn't really look more into it. It was kind of there, and I was like, oh, it's going to be just like Sinister. Something like that.
All right. Well, I think for anyone who hasn't seen the film, we should establish what the story is about. The story, well, it does jump around, but basically it's the story of Lily and Victoria, a pair of sisters who, at the beginning of the film, we found out that due to a financial misfortune, something akin to a stock market collapse, their father has lost it. He kills his estranged wife, who apparently has the girls, and
apparently a few people at work too.
And some people at work, which you don't see. Ducks the children and escapes off onto a cold winter road, where tragedy befalls him. And they run off the road and stumble off into a cabin in the woods. Wow, we're starting a theme here. And a very nice house.
This cabin, it's like the,
well,
to me it was like the TARDIS cabin. I mean, this thing, it looked, of course,
you only ever see it from one angle.
Yeah, you only see it from the front, and it was definitely bigger on the inside.
Well,
the way it looked.
It could have been a longer.
The room wasn't long.
Well, obviously the interiors were just going to be a set. Very 70s set. It's actually in nice shape. I love when your boyfriend just makes those looks.
Jim's using...
well, no, it was a lot like the Evil Dead cabin. It looks narrow going in the front, but it's really a lot longer.
I wasn't
that's
really
what
shocked
I said.
by...
Yeah, well, she's not listening, so yeah.
No, I'm listening because it was the living room, and on the side of the living room was the kitchen.
We're not going to argue about how big the place was.
We're not going to talk about the architecture.
We're going to talk about
the cabin.
The story. So, the story, so they find the cabin, which I got a little confused. I almost thought at one point that that's where they were heading towards, but it was just a place they stumble across. Why there? The father completely breaks down, and he's going to take his life, but before that happens, you realize, or it's heavily implied, and I think there's really not doubt of it, he's going to take the lives of his children.
I don't think he was planning ahead of time to do that.
No, he wasn't planning ahead of time, but he starts...
Just go through the rest of the story. We'll discuss it.
It's very implied that he didn't have some master plan when he took them, but he breaks. He's going to end his life. He's going to end the lives of his children. Before that happens, well, he's stopped by Mama, the ghostly title character.
Can we call her a wraith? She's very wraithy. No?
Okay, we can call her a wraith.
I don't know. I play a lot of video games. She looked a lot like a wraith.
Jump ahead 5 years later. His brother, who very strikingly similar in appearance. And I almost wondered if he did play both. I almost wanted to think that he played both roles. Oh my gosh!
Did he?
He did.
Oh yeah, just pretty much.
He did. Wow.
He did. The male lead actor played the role of Jeffrey, the homicidal dad, and Lucas, his non-homicidal brother, who spends 5 years searching, and not exactly sure why. Now, Lucas is searching for the girls. And he's paid people to search a particular area, and they search quadrants and stuff. What reason does he have to believe that because that the girls are alive, or the girls can be found in this area. I'm not clear as why.
They don't really give much explanation, or to the fact that they didn't, that the government's not searching. I mean, this guy went on a killing spree in a major business. He goes to his wife's house, shoots her in the head, and the kids are missing. And I don't know.
But yeah, once they run off the road,
they don't.
Who knows which direction they went off in, and who knows what area to search in? And my wife has a suggestion.
Because he was going to look everywhere he could to find the kids.
Wouldn't you think, like,
emotionally?
I'm thinking
no
like
rationale.
Okay, to be honest, I think we could just skip over this. I'm gonna say it's a hole in the plot.
It's a hole.
It's not necessary. I don't think it's. I mean, we can dwell on it, but it's not necessary. It's something that can be overlooked. There are other things that you need to overlook in this film, mostly about how the child preventive services and child custody and child therapy works, and just a lot of other things in the way they work. And a lot of things are just condensed to tell the story.
Yeah, very condensed.
So,
Jim, you look like you are desperately wanting to say something.
No,
Would she
no,
can at any time?
Okay.
So yeah, no, I did get the feeling that those were the same actor, and
I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
Which, I have to say, kudos to the makeup guy.
yeah, great performances.
Because Lucas is, I have to say, at least 100 pounds heavier of muscle than I thought Jeffrey did, but you can make that appearance in the way he was dressed. Jeffrey was wearing a very streamlined suit, and you can do that with makeup to make someone appear larger or thinner.
So the girls are found. They have been living in a feral state, but the mysterious wraith, which we come to know as Mama, had cared for him.
Right.
Lucas finds he can only keep custody of his nieces under certain conditions. Him and his girlfriend, who's reluctant to be a mother and take on a motherly role in any sense, move into this house that's provided by the university, which is a condition made by Dr. Dreyfus, who could easily be confused with the doctor in Friday the 13th, Part 7, both in terms of look, his secrecy. Maybe that's just me. You agree with me, but it.
I thought he looked like Monk, but yeah, I definitely did make the
connection. Oh, now I forgot.
Tony Shalhoub.
Tony Shalhoub.
He looked like Tony Shalhoub
from the great film 13th Ghost.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Monk.
Okay.
And Black.
And Wings. Let's not forget about Wings. Yes. So, Mama follows. I thought there was one of the things that I noticed in the film. The narrative jumps around a bit. It begins. Well, they establish the story. At the beginning, before the girls are found, they establish the story. After that, then it's Lucas's story about connecting with the girls or bringing them together into this home. Shortly thereafter, when his mama doesn't want him around, oh yeah, spoilers.
Spoiler, I didn't know.
He's taken out of the picture, and it becomes Annabelle's story. Mm-hmm. Then for a while it becomes Dr. Dreyfus's story.
For a few minutes.
Well, no, for a while. We follow his investigation. Right. And then we go back to it becoming Annabelle's story. Mm-hmm. And then I think it
pacing and narrative.
I think at the end it's Annabelle's story again.
Pacing and narrative of this film was just erratic.
I think
so.
I think it could have benefited by being one person's story, and I think it would have benefited more by being just Annabelle's story. And I really think that Dr. Dreyfus's scenes were... She could have been given the investigative part. I think Dr. Dreyfus only had some scenes so it could lead up to his demise. This is a PG-13 film, and this is pretty light on demises. In fact,
it is.
The one character of
there's one.
The one character of Jean. Oh, wow, interesting. I'll get back to that. His brother's sister. She's fighting for in-laws, fighting for custody of the girls. She is really there only for an extra body.
Yeah, because even her drive to get these children, like, it's established she has a lot of money. She's, throwing the fact she has a lot of money in the judge's face to get custody. Marissa brought up that, even though she has no really reason that these girls would be an object to have, it would be, kind of go along with the baby fad that is still kind of going on. Like, oh, they're so cute, and they need to be fed, too.
Oh, interesting
That's
thing.
going on, because it would be like, oh, I can't wait to show them my friends and stuff, that I have these 2 kids.
My rescue children.
Yeah, my rescue. Which, as a wonderful person, I rescued them.
They were living in the
them not only
woods.
They,
No,
nannies.
that's my Jersey girl. That was more of a Valley girl. I said they were living in the woods. Fortunately, I came along and I was able to care for them. They're in boarding school.
No, these 2, they would be left with 3 living nannies or something.
Well, eventually, But the actress, Jane Moffat, who played Jean, surprisingly was also the voice of Mama.
Can she really be the voice of Mama? Because that voice was edited to hell.
Well,
Really
I was
credited for
surprised
that?
because whenever I heard the voice of Mama, I thought there was a bear choking on something. I really thought at one point she was going to open that closet door and there was going to be a bear. Just...
I thought it sounded like a moose with rabies. That's what I associated. A moose with rabies. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
You thought like a bear choking. I thought moose with rabies.
Yeah.
No, the sound effects were definitely interesting.
The sound effects.
It's like, Jean, go find something. Or what's the actress's name? I just called her by her character name.
Jean.
Oh, her
name's
Jane.
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 The actress is Jane.
Go find someone that really hates you and have them choke you in the sound booth. Okay. And we also want you to have like a mouthful of marbles while you're doing it. I think the sound, it was so edited and so played with that I don't think anyone should be even credited for that.
She doesn't have a very many distinct lines, or she have Mama have any distinct lines?
Kinda. She said Lily. She said
maybe
Lily.
it's only she provided the clear voice.
Maybe, and even though I couldn't tell it was the same person.
The rest of the voices.
But Jean was just like, hi, I'm your stereotypical like bitch who has more money than you.
But she's only there to
die.
provide a body count.
Yeah,
which is very well.
There's the father of the psychiatrist, Jean.
And our very tragic end, but I guess we'll wait till the end to get to that.
We all thought that this poor little dachshund was going to die, but...
Yes.
I'm glad the dachshund didn't die.
Expected the dog.
It was a very nice dachshund.
Cute dog.
Very cute. Very quiet, too.
Wiener dog? I don't know.
It's called a dachshund. That's what that type of... the wiener dogs are dachshunds.
Yes.
That's her name.
I thought it was called a dachshund.
That was called dachshund.
I don't know.
Moving on, please.
Okay, moving
Sorry.
on.
The dachshund
It
put
was
on
a
weight for this
wiener
role
dog.
to play both the younger dog and the older dog. The dog was very committed to it.
Yes, the dog did a really good job.
Yes. All right.
Dog did a fabulous job as being a dog.
So you wanted to talk about the look of Mama.
Yes.
The Wraith.
Mama was a patient in an asylum in the 1800s. An asylum that was run by, I want to say nuns. Yeah, it was run by nuns in the clergy. And she had a baby. They, of course, took the baby away, and during that time period, they would have killed the baby because they thought madness carried on through the blood. I took psychology.
Okay, but I didn't get that impression from what was going on in the film that they were going to kill the baby.
They probably have to kill the baby in a certain way because it is a
But
church.
I'm not... You got the impression from when... Okay, Mama...
It's not impression. It is true.
Mama gets into Annabelle's dream.
Yes.
And tells her story in a series of first-person perspective flashbacks, and you saw in this that the nun that was holding her child was going to kill her? Because I did not pick up on that at all.
I made that association because of what I know about psychology through history.
But I am saying, did you see that, or are you projecting onto that? Because I did not pick up on that at all. Because that would have definitely affected how I felt about it.
I also picked up on it because even though Mama is a psych patient, we don't know why. We don't know what's wrong with her. She, though, as desperate as she is to get the baby back, and then decides, looks at the water and looks back and kind of decides it's better that the baby drown with me than whatever the baby will go through with them.
Okay, so you're saying I can't give her the benefit of the doubt because she was in an asylum. She was... I'm not going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to assume that if she was in there, she was mentally ill.
They put people...
I'm not saying that they didn't. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think you are... You are projecting your knowledge of your knowledge of mental health illness.
First-hand knowledge.
First-hand knowledge. Because she studied mental illness in college.
Oh, that too.
Yeah. I think you're projecting that onto this film. And your historical knowledge of the way it sounds run, you're projecting it onto that film. I'm going by what I'm seeing in the film, and I believe that she was mentally ill. This led her to... Yes, I can imagine she was upset if they took her baby away, but it could have been for the safety of the baby. She kills the nun, escapes with her child, and then decides to go over the edge with the child. And I see this as simply just mental illness.
You know, they used to lock women in asylums just because of PMS in the 1800s.
But
Marissa's laughing because she's also studied psychology and she knows exactly what.
I'm not arguing
right.
at that point.
So of course I'm gonna take what I know about the world, and I'm going to associate it with this. You know, if I.
Yeah, but I'm trying to interpret this movie in its own terms.
Right.
Like what it's trying to tell us. I believe this film was trying to tell us that she was insane or crazed, or she was
heavily deformed, and there are people that are heavily deformed that are completely insane.
No, we...
Okay.
Do we know... See, that's a great point. That's a great thing I wanted to get to. Do you think the way she was shown was she distorted? Like she has a very long face and a high brow.
Yeah, crazy finger.
The extended fingers are more of a ghastly, spectral thing, but the way her face was portrayed, is that because of her being a wraith? Or do you think that was to suggest that she had a physical or mental challenge that can result in that, like people who have Down syndrome. Do you think that's suggested in there?
Do you want to say something?
Yeah. The only picture we do see of her is a photograph, and everything else after was her ghost form, which was after she died, she hit the thing, broke her back. So that's probably what the ghost, deformities were.
The photograph looks like a piece done by the artist that does the Gentleman Corpse. I can't name him off the top of my head. No, you can.
Yeah.
Oh, and another interesting thing. Mama was played by Javert.
By a man that has cheekbones that would put Peter Cushing to shame.
By a man. Actually, I can see some of the...
He's done Wreck, The Last Circus. The Last Circus I tried to watch, but...
We'll have a picture of him probably covering up Madeline. Yeah. Alright, so...
Cover up Madeline with his handsome cheekbones.
When you learn to edit, you can make these decisions.
Okay. Okay, but anyways, she takes the baby and she jumps into the water. Now, the look of Mama, she's...
but is separated from the child.
She's separated from the baby. The baby is kind of caught on a branch.
Does not survive, though.
And it didn't survive, but at first when I saw it, I'm like, oh god, they're going to go through this history. The baby survived, and these children are the descendant of Mama or something like that. And I was like, great, the baby survived. And I made the comment, I said, oh look, the baby survived using Warner Brothers cartoon logic. And the baby didn't, so I felt like crap for saying that.
But we find out that she's connected with these children, and her spirit needs to... Her spirit wants to finish where she... Because she was separated from her child, and even when she's reunited with the remains of her child, and rejects those, which I don't get. I don't get like that how that wouldn't have been, because Annabelle reunites the Wraith with the remains of her child. I don't.
But they put
and then she rejects those. See, I don't think.
Not at first.
That doesn't. I don't under.
Not at first.
I really think that could have been it.
But the girl said, "Mama," triggering her.
Yeah.
Really, the
triggering her maternal instinct.
Who I felt was insanely abandoned in this film. I think she got no attention whatsoever. You know, Victoria got all this attention because she has these magical Clark Kent glasses, where she put the glasses on, and all of a sudden she went from feral to being completely civilized little lady. And, Lily's just in the corner eating bugs. Quite literally. And no one does anything. It's like she's eating moths, and she has, moth guts all over her face.
Well, that was when she was under the bed, the hospital bed. That's what it is.
No, even after that,
okay.
In the house, she had a little bit of moth gut right here and stuff, and she was eating moths in the house. I'm not a parent, but I was a nanny for a time. I don't care how ill the child is. You're not like, oh yeah, there's Lily. She likes to eat moths. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, she just walks around, a little moth gut on her. But Victoria, Victoria, oh yeah, there's Lily. She's jumping off the roof, into the woods, halfway freezing to death.
But Annabelle does have for this film, a very touching moment where they do connect after she brings her back in from the cold. And they do have to differentiate how the two children recover from the experience. Ultimately towards, because that makes a difference in the finale.
Right. But you never see the psychiatrist, Dr. Monk,
Dreyfus,
with Lily.
Oh yes, but she's not commutative. She doesn't become commutative till later.
They have ways of communicating with children who can't speak. They do. I've read about this. There have been issues.
But Lily had no language, or very little language,
Yeah.
when she was taken. So she had even less language than she had when she first went to cabin.
I really had asked my wife to do this review with Chris.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
That is
maybe.
not at all some kind of Freudian slip or anything.
It's
Off
because
subject.
Marissa was sitting here on the couch earlier.
Off subject. But here's what I think you're doing.
see
I
there.
think you're projecting your own knowledge onto the film, and I think a film like this,
Don't
you've
do
got to
that.
judge it by its on its own.
Yeah, what do we call that? Writing the story or rewriting the script?
Yeah, well, I don't think she's rewriting the story.
No, it's just-
When I think about rewriting the story, is the way I think of ways to improve the story.
Right.
You're not grounding it, but you are finding logical flaws in it. If it was a real,
Right.
I mean,
If
this
it's
is not a
situation.
real. I mean, obviously, with the Phantom, or what you wanted to call it, a wraith.
Oh.
It's not. It's a ghost
Right.
story, and we can't pull it back down to reality.
I think it's because I felt really bad for Lily through most of it. I felt no one was really giving Lily a chance.
Okay.
You know.
So you connected with
Lily wanted a candy bar, but she just got moths that were coming in that she was eating. And she even felt like she was a bit. They didn't try to get her to really be part of anything. The only thing you see is when she halfway freezes to death because she falls asleep outside being with Mama and the whole hand thing. But in the dinner scene, the eating scenes and stuff like that, Lily was usually in the corner, eating, with her knees up. Again, I'm taking what I know about.
But this movie was, I'm gonna have to say, slow enough as it was.
Mhm.
And if we brought in all this additional material, it would have only slowed it down to a snail's pace.
Right.
There is great stints where nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
There's shots showing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There's the shots of there's a door partially open.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there's nothing there. There's a shot. There's a cameraman pointing
At a door.
at a door, and there's nothing there. There's a lighting. There's grips, moving lights, so we can get a picture of the door.
I thought that the scene.
Somebody
where Annabelle-
edited. Okay, there's the door. There's no one in the door.
I thought the scene where Annabelle was going through the closet just lasted a little too long, to the point where I made a Mommy Dearest reference, and I was like, no wire hangers, because I saw a bunch of wire hangers.
I don't know why she kept moving them back and forth. Because she moves the hangers. She takes a while to move the hangers, and then she sees the moth hole, and then she moves the hangers aside.
Yeah.
Like if I slide these hangers this way, I will see something else.
She was looking for Mama because she saw Mama in the corner, and then she saw the door close. So she was looking for Mama because she thought it was Lily. So she was looking for whatever was in the corner in the closet.
I know eventually Jim's gonna have a puppet, so he can
Yeah.
take part in this. I guess I'm gonna have to
Doesn't-
hope my wife comes up with a Marissa puppet, so she can also
That would be fun.
be seen,
Mama transports from the cabin that's her home base,
along with two children.
to the home where the
Oh, in the
children are
beginning.
being
Oh, okay.
kept through this hole that kept reminding me of Silent Hill, The Room, because people will come into the outer world through these holes, and it looked just like it.
Okay. Yeah, I got a question. So, Mama takes over Jane's, or no, that's the actress, Joan's body, Jean's body, to take the children back to the cabin. Now, how did she get, even if she took over the body, how did she get the kids back to the cabin?
Why did she need to? She didn't need to take over the body. She
know.
was grabbing and touching and
But-
killing people.
Well, not really to the cabin. She was wanting to get back to the cliff. But how did she get the girls there?
I don't know how she used it using Jean's body, because she could grab the kids, both of them, and fly.
Yes. So she flew there
It
with the kids.
seemed
Because I can't imagine her driving.
a bit.
Yeah, they didn't invent cars when she was alive.
Yeah, her being all twitchy and driving, that would have been hilarious. I want to see that. I hope that's a deleted scene somewhere. I want to see that. That would have been funny. But that didn't make much sense to me either. It was like, see, Jean's a bitch. And that's all we know is that Jean's a bitch. She has no redeeming qualities or anything. And we get to see Jean die. Kind of. She kind of
No,
fell
we
over
don't
dead.
really see. Yeah, we don't really see any. I mean, the closest we see is
Dr. Dreyfus.
Dr. Dreyfus and Mama just,
yeah,
that's
and he
it.
has scratches on his face.
I mean, I loved Mama at first after she saved the children from Dad,
Homo Dad.
homicidal Dad. And for a great deal of the film, I thought, okay, there was nothing wrong with Mama. Mama's keeping an eye out for the girls. That's it. So why did Mama eventually decide she wanted to jump off the cliff with the girls? She watched the girls for 5 years. So why?
Maybe she really
Why then? Why now is she deciding to?
She realized that someone was trying to take them away from her, and
Okay,
that was
that
the only way they could stay together.
That actually makes sense.
Was by jumping off the cliff.
She was very jealous, and
yeah,
what the
and
girls,
turning
Victoria
into
said.
a bunch of moths.
Because this
I
PG
don't-
film, the 13
Yeah.
film is not going to show us.
A child getting killed or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Or she can have her spirit rest by finishing what she was doing in life
By killing the child.
by killing child.
Okay. It's not a feel-good film.
Not saying it makes sense, but that'd be why.
But Lily got to be a really pretty blue moth. Butterfly. Looked like a butterfly.
Those are moths.
It was a moth?
That was moth.
I thought moths had like larger.
No, butterflies have larger wings.
Now
than
I'm going to
moths.
go into my knowledge of moths, which isn't really all that
No, those
great.
are definitely moths.
Those are moths. Yeah. I don't know why, but it reminded me of Batman. Remember how Batman used to appear and disappear in a bunch of bats?
Oh, okay.
It reminded me of Batman.
So, who's your favorite character in the film?
Not Annabelle.
No. Okay.
Not I
Character, not
character.
character.
Mama.
Okay.
I feel so bad. I loved the antagonist who was killing people. I liked Mama. I thought she had I thought in a way she was the most three-dimensional. I mean, the characters aren't just cardboard cutouts, but I thought she was the most three-dimensional character. I felt the worst for her. I was torn because I'm like, I want to see you have a happy end, but I don't kill Dr. Crawford. I like him, even though he's not really ethical. I like Dr. Crawford too, but I think it's because he reminded me of Monk.
Dr. Crawford? Who's
Not
that?
Crawford.
Dreyfus?
Dreyfus.
Okay.
I'm gonna get like cute carrots.
Where did Crawford
I
come
don't
from?
know.
My
Wait,
dearest
what about
Joan
you?
Crawford.
Yes, Mommy Dearest Joan Crawford. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm still thinking of Mommy Dearest because, yes, watching this, I was making Mommy Dearest references in my head.
I was disappointed that I did at some point have to not like Mama. When you find out she was, well, pretty much when she starts hurting people, and when she puts Lucas in the coma. Sorry, she was really nice up till then. She was just playing with the kids.
Leatherface has done a lot worse, and I still like him.
I'm just saying.
So, who was your favorite character?
Yeah, who's your favorite?
I would have been happier if this had been Annabelle's story.
Hated Annabelle.
Why?
Hated her.
Why? Okay.
She was just a blatant bitch. I thought
What?
okay, your boyfriend is desperately trying to find giving all his money mostly to find his nieces.
And she supported him in that.
No, she laughed at him. She made a joke about it. But what are they gonna do? Check Sector 917 Alpha? Let's have sex. That's exactly what happened in the beginning.
Yeah, but she had no problem with him continuing to spend, his money doing that.
But she makes a joke about
But
people searching for the corpses of his family members.
After 5 years, it became routine. It became mundane. You
still don't make a damn joke. I don't care if it's 30 years later.
Well, it wasn't a joke about the children. It was a joke about the search, or he's paying money for them to walk around the woods. We're not exactly sure why they focused on that. I don't know. I didn't get that same impression that you did. And hers is the story. Hers is the character who actually has an arc. She goes from someone who is established right off the bat, has no interest in motherhood,
She's a child-free stereotype. That's the other thing that pissed me off. She was a child-free stereotype because all those people who are child-free, if we have no idea how to react in front of children. We have no clue. This woman had. I'm sorry. It was like she had never seen children before.
So it's not like they're normal.
So
children.
do you think?
Yeah, they're not normal.
Judging
They're
on
not
based on some of
crazy.
your beliefs or your choices, do you think that just
I don't know if that
was that personal for you?
And a bit, yeah, because she was, and it was like, yeah, here I am with my fantastic tits that are sticking out, and like I ignore everything because I'm in a band, and screw kids, and I took a pregnancy test. I'm so happy I'm not. It was like, it's not how we are.
No, actually not.
No, I'm not like that. Okay.
So if she says I'm not ready to have children,
No,
she can't be happy not to be pregnant.
She established not only with him but also with her bandmate that I swear was high out of her mind and just trying too hard to sound like a rocker, that she had no interest whatsoever.
Okay.
And she did not like this idea. And it wasn't so much these children are clearly psychologically very disturbed. I mean, you're dealing with feral children, and all these other issues.
Yeah, we agree.
We
agree. The moment that Luke
was,
went into a coma, she still wouldn't have custody of the children.
Right. It was more of a case of they're kids, and I don't like kids.
But it was part of her story arc that she
was staring.
She may have started as, but she does not remain one. You have to start from a point to have an arc. I think this is another case where your personal
her eyeliner pissed me off.
I think this is a case where your personal perspective has influenced how you feel about the movie. And which is not necessarily wrong, but I think you may be judging her a little too harshly.
Okay, her laughing at the search for corpses, I'm sorry, it made me not like her, and I didn't like her anymore towards the end, because I just didn't. It was her eyeliner. I think her eyeliner was pissed me off. Don't should have that much eyeliner.
I did spend a lot of time wondering why she was so gosh darn pale, and then she's
a ginger.
Then we find out, yes, she's. Can we? Are
we allowed to say ginger?
I don't know.
I mean, you can call me a brunette.
I know, but I think
redhead is the term.
I think redheads might find it an offensive term, but she's played by Jessica Chastain, who I've apparently seen before in The Help, and
Zero Dark Thirty.
she looks a lot better as a redhead, much more natural.
It does.
But what if you're using the term ginger in a complimentary way? Because we have a ginger boy, redhead boy, and we love him. So
Right, I don't, I'm in my late 20s, so when I say ginger, it's not like some type of stereotype that was created on Facebook. That's your hair color. Like, I'm a brunette. My cousin is a blonde. Marissa is a blue head.
Speaking about appearances, I know this came up. Wardrobe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were under the impression that there was not a huge wardrobe budget on the film. We see her character, Annabelle's character, often in the same outfits over and over. And then for all I know, Dr. Dreyfus is wearing the same thing for the whole friggin' film. He meets with I don't know what we want to call her, librarian or someone, a record keeper,
She's
historian.
a historian. Yeah.
Who's wearing the same thing in two different scenes.
It's like she's wearing like this thrift store wolf shirt.
No, people buy those new. Yes,
I used to live in the South. Wow.
No, you got to go up north, the Appalachian area.
Really?
Those are big. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, oh yeah. Shirts with bowls on them.
Ooh.
I don't get it now.
Wait, like the Bulls? Like the football team?
No, wolves.
Oh, wolves. I thought you said bowls. I was like...
Wolves. The woman with the wolves on her.
That's okay, Mike. Sometimes we do see a different movie than that.
Yeah. So.
Go ahead and screw
And
yourself.
but then as part of her, Annabelle, who starts the film wearing tank tops and
Like tank tops she cut herself type of thing.
a lot of cleavage, a lot of little side boob.
I think she had fake boobs because that was a very the brush. I did notice this. This woman has fantastic breasts, and
could have been cutlets.
yeah. It was like a cutlet thing. And I'm sitting there going, how are they going together with?
I found it almost a little distracting. It kind of took away from one of her most touching scenes with the Lily child. She's just holding her, just trying to warm her up.
She has this
blowing
great
on her hands, but we still got the cleavage in this shot. Do we still get the cleavage in this shot? But as part of her character arc, when she gets to the point where she'll do anything to save the children, then suddenly she's wearing this
turtleneck.
This turtleneck sweater. She had this big tattoo on her arm. I don't know the top of it.
It was she had tentacles on one arm.
I know.
I noticed that.
I think she only had the one tattoo, but
no, she had two.
I don't know how it
She had
started
one
at the
that was
top.
up here, and she had one that actually went down closer to this area.
Oh, okay. I only saw the one with the tentacles.
No, she had a few, and she also had one on the back.
There's
the other thing
wasn't a back. I thought it was some kind of hickey or
There was
something.
a bruise.
It was a bruise.
It was a bruise after the dream sequence.
Yeah, which they don't.
Yeah.
She doesn't even notice. You just see it. But
Yeah.
there is a tattoo.
Oh, I got bruises. I get bruises all the time.
Yeah, there was a tattoo. There too. There was a tattoo on her upper back.
But then when she comes to the part where she becomes motherly, she covers up all her tattoos, covers up her boobs, and is wearing a sweater up to here.
Another stereotype. Cause
Can't be good tattoo moms.
Yeah, you can't be.
No.
I know
It's
a lot of
getting
moms.
colder,
One of the most
maybe.
awesome tattooed moms. I know she doesn't cover up her tattoos unless it's freezing outside. Cause that's just no, not even then. See, and she doesn't wear
Shoes.
shoes.
Yeah.
She doesn't like shoes. We had a discussion. So yeah, a few stereotypes.
Maybe I could get Jim to pan over to her.
She'll hurt you.
No, wow.
Not without her permission.
Wow.
No, but there was a bit of stereotyping, like, no, people covered in tattoos with fantastic breasts can't be good moms, so you have to put on that turtleneck and put a minimizer on. Yes, her breasts looked much smaller.
You guys ever think we just think way too much about this kind of thing?
I think we're talking way too much about this actress's breasts. I really do.
You're the one
Really?
talking
Okay,
about her breast.
yeah.
I mean, I said they were you know, she appears in this one way, and you're the one who called them fantastic.
They are fantastic breasts.
Okay.
So I wrote down notes this time. I haven't looked at them.
Oh yeah, look at your notes.
Oh, we're making progress.
Oh, here's the long dolphin while we're waiting.
No, I brought up the glasses transition, which I thought was hilarious, and I
The
put,
glasses?
yeah, the fact that she puts on the glasses and magically she's civilized.
Oh,
again.
okay, yes, okay.
Jump and by. Oh, the youngest girl, Lily, kept jumping into boxes.
Yeah, but kids
So
do
I
that.
made a comment that actually, Mama was a figment of her imagination. They were raised by cats. But apparently kids love boxes too. I have cats, they have kids. Kid cats. I made the cat thing because the way she jumped into you see her jump into one box, another box you just see her pop out of, and she looked like Maru, the like fat cat from Japan. She's boop. It was adorable. It reminded me of a cat. Bunny Man Bridge is in this movie.
Oh yeah, explain
Man
that.
Bridge.
Tell me about that.
Bunny Man Bridge is a local legend from the Northern Virginia area. I used to live there, and you see the bridge in a dream sequence where this Lucas's brother is going to him. He's all like, Silent Hill twitchy, and you need to go this way. You need to see my girls. And I looked at the bridge and I said, that bridge looks really familiar. And at first I thought of there's a place called Wallace. It says Wallace on it, which may be graffiti or something here. I always remember that because and it wasn't that. And they go to it in their regular lighting because the dream sequences are all in this. I don't know what the lighting would be called. Anyways,
Okay.
and they go to it and I go, that looks like Bunny Man Bridge, which I had been to twice. And they go in, and I recognize the graffiti and the way that the cracks were, and I went, oh shit, Bunny Man Bridge! That's Bunny Man Bridge! And he even goes up on top of the bridge and is walking down, and the shot they show him is actually the same shot of the top of Bunny Man Bridge that is in Weird Virginia. The the weird books that shows paranormal and odd places in the States. And it's Bunny Man Bridge. And I don't know, they bring up that they're in Richmond. And Bunny Man Bridge is a ways from Richmond. But that got me really excited that I said it's Bunny Man Bridge. They don't mention it as Bunny Man Bridge. The fact that the brother comes out of Bunny Man Bridge. Do you want me to tell you about Bunny Man Bridge?
Okay.
Do you know the legend?
No.
Is anyone else? You guys heard of it? The legend is there was a bus filled with criminals that were on their way to another prison. The bus crashes, flips over, and so there's this maniac running around with an axe who's one of the criminals, and they call him the Bunny Man because of the fact that they find dead rabbits strewed everywhere. Like he's just killing rabbits. The other legend of Bunny Man Bridge, and I don't know if this isn't really a legend, this is actually something that frighteningly happened, is someone went by was in the area of Bunny Man Bridge, and a man in a rabbit suit around Halloween ran out of his house and attacked the car with an axe, and there is an actual police report of that. I think that's hilarious, but the rumor is in Bunny Man Bridge, if you drive your car under it and you stop it, it won't restart. There's also one that your car will start to move on its own. The other one is if you go on top of Bunny Man Bridge on Halloween during a certain time, and you'll actually be killed. So people do this. Because that's exactly what someone said. If you do this, you'll die. I do it. Weird story. The second time I tried to go to Bunny Man Bridge, which was to do a web show I was working on and talk about the legend, we saw a whole bunch of police cars, sheriffs, and about 5 unmarked cars heading right to Bunny Man Bridge. and I thought there might have been a murder there or something, but of course we turned our asses around and went right back home.
Have there been any films that have been inspired by Buddy Man Bridge?
I don't know.
I
I mean,
seen it on Haunted Places shows.
They'll talk about it on shows, on...
Now the axe murder, the guy who escaped when the bus went over and came up with the axe, he only killed rabbits.
He killed rabbits, and apparently he killed a few of the guards, or they think, it's a bunch of prisoners, you don't know who killed who, but they, of course, found dead guards and a few other dead inmates. But the big thing was that you would find rabbit corpses all over the place, especially during Halloween time. And this is the bridge goes into an area with like 2 houses. They're still there. According to the way that shot looked, there wasn't any houses there. And it's a dead-end road, and the police do look after it because, of course, people go there and try to do stuff, especially during Halloween. We went there at like 3 a.m. knowing this. Just going, let's go to Bunny Man Bridge. No, we've never been there, and I've been in the area for so long, and I want to see it. But we weren't stopped by the police. So that's Bunny Man Bridge.
Alright. I don't think we can get any farther away from the film where we can actually get to a point of getting back to it.
Baby, wait. I already said that. Annabelle is trying too hard.
This is why these are 50 minutes long. Just
sure.
dead time.
Bubba Hotep. Oh, yeah, Bubba Hotep.
Okay, I'm listening.
No, Mama, apparently, I said looked like she was sucking the life essence or the soul out of Annabelle at one point, and I immediately thought of Bubba Hotep.
Okay. I'm glad you shared that.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Glad you see Bubba Hotep.
All right,
yeah.
Well, unless you have any... Hold on. We were supposed to do this at one point, because that's what the children did. All right. One day you're early and feral.
No, you need to get your knees closer to your head.
I can't.
Well, then you can't do it.
Okay, well, you do it.
I'm wearing jeans.
I'm wearing jeans, too.
I can't do wearing jeans.
Oh, okay.
She's a klutz-year-old. I'm going to skip it.
And I will fall on my face.
Klutz.
And stuff.
I'm sure we'd... Well... no one wants to see you hurt, but it would be comical.
Oh, the other thing is that bothered us both, which I could understand him from being a parent. The father put the 2 girls in the car and there's no seatbelt.
Oh, yes.
Or car seat.
Yes.
And this made it even worse because they go down a cliff.
Yeah.
And the girls are absolutely fine except for Victoria breaks her glasses.
Yeah. How do you break your glasses without any other injuries?
Her hair wasn't even out.
Oh, and
of place.
he had abrasions. Of course, none of them were bleeding.
No.
Maybe we can't do blood in a PG-13
yeah,
film.
PG-13. All the blood went to Dr. Dreyfus.
But yeah, the car is found like this. It's got to be at least a 70-degree angle.
Yeah,
they hit a tree. That's what stopped them after they went off the road.
And they're spinning, so they're picking up speed.
The children never had... Not only did the children not have a seatbelt, but the one was sitting in the other's lap, and they were in the back seat. Yeah, the fact that any of them survived that crash is... Well, it's fiction. So
It's fiction.
And that's what the whole film is.
Yeah.
And if it just... You can't be too logical about this film.
Your
It is a ghost story.
It's a good horror movie considering it is a PG-13 film.
It was not a horror movie for me. It was a ghost story.
It was a ghost story.
I didn't find any of the elements to be horrific. I didn't find anything to be chilling.
Not even the way, not even Mama at some point. Not when she was walking towards the screen, but I couldn't stop laughing when that happened.
I think Mama had a good... There's... Might be a jump scare hidden in there somewhere, and I think she was visually more intriguing than she was terrifying.
Yeah, she was.
And as I said, it took so long to get it. For a while, you like Mama, so you're not really scared of Mama.
I liked Mama throughout the film.
So
she paid attention to Lily. No one else did.
So, as a PG-13 film, what age? I mean, it's not an R-rated film, so and it's a PG-13. Obviously, just repeating myself as my cameraman distracts me by laughing.
Sorry.
Do you think this is like a good starter, scary film? Like if you had a younger audience, or you, like as a parent, I would love for my children to one day share some of my interests. Both me and Marissa enjoy horror films. I think a lot of parents who do enjoy horror films hope to one day share some of the films that they like. And I could say I've looked for films that, I wonder what would be like when my children get older that they could watch or enjoy with me. Like right now, my son was able to watch Army of Darkness, which is a pretty fun, very light in terms of horror. Where, as a PG-13 film, do you see this as or do you think the connection between a young audience and the young characters might make it a little scarier for anyone under 13?
No, but I don't think this is something where if you want to get your kids into having an interest, or nieces, nephews, kids you babysit, kids in your life into horror films, I don't think this is your first. This should be really the first thing you show them. I think the best starter horror kit introducing children into horror is Monster Squad. Monster Squad was one of my first. My first horror film was actually Frankenstein. The Universal monsters were my introduction, but like I suggest Monster Squad and Little Shop of Horrors. No?
The color musical one?
Rick Moranis, Steve Martin.
That was kind of that was kind of dark. I'm not saying that this film isn't dark in its own way, but that was okay. We are getting way off subject, but that was a really creepy plan. So I'm surprised I'm doing this. Do you want to wrap this up?
Do you think that's what's wrong with me?
No. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you. I'm just saying we're getting a little...
let's wrap it up.
Yeah, let's get... So overall,
yeah.
Did you enjoy this film?
I thought it was good. My favorite part is the effects that they used with Mama and the fact that she was a drowning victim and they made her look like she was constantly kind of like in a state of floating under. And the way her hair moved and everything was very...
Great visual effects.
Water
for the look of
effect. I really liked that. Feel bad for Lily, but I did love what they did with Mama.
Okay. I enjoyed this film. It was a little slow in parts, possibly a little longer than it needed to be. And even though I'm conflicted about the ending, I could still appreciate it and understand it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand why the ending went the way it did. It just kind of, I think it's because I kept looking at Lily, even though she was at the very far end of the screen. I was like, give the poor thing off. Do something. Like, get her a kitten or she'd eat it, but...
I think I enjoyed this film more than
Yeah.
Or was more interested as the film progressed than I thought I was going to be when I went into it, so... All right. Oh, okay. So that's it for Mama.
What would you give it?
Oh, I don't do that.
Skeleton.
I don't know.
You asked me to do it last time.
I did?
You did
Yeah.
that.
Wow. I don't know.
Wait, and you didn't give a number.
I gotta stop doing this. This is very
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
why are you
Okay.
doing that?
Oh, I don't know. What did I say last time? Did I say stars or out of so many?
Out of
or
10.
Out
You
of,
said
out of 10. I
Let's
don't
go
know.
with that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I answered last time. You get to answer this time.
Actually, why don't you both answer?
What?
I guess it. I don't. I think if you're. For me, my appreciations of films sometimes depends on what kind of film I'm in the mood for. And if you're in for a ghost story with a mystery, that you can enjoy this. And I think that if you're a parent, you're more likely to get something from it. You might not like all the aspects of the film, but I think it's going to be easier for you to connect with the film.
Marissa, this was your choice. What would you give it?
I'd say it's 7. It wasn't like great. It was better than I expected it. So I'd say a 7 out of 10.
I have to say it was better than I expected, because I was expecting some like, oh, it's a PG-13 horror film. Oh, fabulous.
I completely forgot that.
Yeah, but even getting the PG-13 rating, I thought they still did a really good job in keeping that, which is even harder to do these days. Like Monster Squad would probably be NC-17 now. They say NARDs. No, the rating system is crazy these days. But for keeping the PG-13 rating, I think they did a really good job.
So you're looking forward to what we watch next week?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I know you're really looking forward to that review, because I used to be such a huge Rob Zombie fan.
Yes, next week we're watching.
Yeah.
And I really have no idea where we're going to fall out on this one. Next week we watch Lords of Salem. So if you've actually watched this entire video, you will know.
We are watching Lords of Salem next week.
Next time. And please, if you've actually watched this entire video, we would just love to know. I mean,
if you sat through.
We have gotten some views on some of these videos, and I'm just kind of curious to know, like the last one we did was a 50-minute video. So if you have watched this entire film, this is not just to get comments. Just comment. You don't have to say anything positive or negative. Just comment, I watched the whole thing. That's all we want to know.
How long are we at?
Oh, I don't know.
Like I count anymore.
Too long.
Yeah.
Too long. We're at too long. So.
All right. See you next time.
Yes, yeah.